Stephen Fox again, bringing the latest review of the LeEco cool1. LeEco have made quite a splash in the last year, with their first being known as LED TV, then now being changed to LeEco with the second outing. And this is something that lots of people have been wondering about. What if two big smartphone companies collaborate together on a smartphone? And it's happened. This is it. This is LeEco and Coolpad is doing. That's why it's called the LeEco cool1. Now you can see that it's a premium box. You get your warranty, your booklet, and everything. Quick charge charger, USB Type-C cable, the SIM slot pin, everything. It's really what we've come to expect from LeEco so far. Excellence in standard in packaging and in headsets. Now this device main feature is its dual 13 megapixel back cams. There's no info yet on who's providing the cameras, but I can clearly definitely tell you that it's Samsung. Both sensors are Samsung's, because I know how they work, and I'm pretty much sure that it's Samsung. So you get these two cameras, the fingerprint sensor on the back. It's a premium metal build. This phone looks very nice. It feels very good when you hold it, feels steady. And now when you first turn it on, you see the LeEco inside and cool logo. And it's running LeEco's EUI Android skin on top of it, on Android 6.0 Marshmallow. This is the latest stable build. It's international ROM. And it boots up quite fast compared to the devices. You can see really good screen quality. Now I'll show you. Fingerprint scanner works like a charm. Gone is the lagged fingerprint scanner of the other devices. This is a premium fingerprint scanner, top of the line. Unlocks in maybe 0.2 seconds. Display is really bright. Colors are saturated. This is a really above average display, not the greatest, but certainly up there with it. Has great value. Now you have the notification shade, which you can basically turn off all your notifications or use the settings to preview them, prioritize notifications from apps on other apps, and so on. What's different about the UI, if you've never used it, is that when you pull down, there's no settings. It's just a notification panel. That's it. If you want to go to the settings, you have to press the multitask button, the square one. As you can see, it's just notifications. The buttons, of course, are backlit, which is nice. And here is the multifunctional panel, as they call it. When on top of it, you get your icons, and then you have screen brightness. Yeah, this device comes with universal remote, which is really nice. And then you get the music playlist, and here you can actually customize the order of icons. You have all your Wi-Fi data and other apps, you know, calculator, camera, alarms. It's basically settings, and then it's just apps. You can see you can move them around, so you can customize them whatever you want. So you can have the ones you use in front of you, so you have to scroll down. Same here, you can customize the lower bar as well. Once you've customized all of that, it becomes really useful to have it all on the one screen. And the only thing that actually suffers is the multitasking, because the windows are quite smaller than you used to, and the preview window is really nice, but it could be a little bit larger, which hampers a bit multitasking. But as you can see, its multitasking is okay. This comes with an IR blaster, so you can use it as a remote, which is really nice to have. Not a lot of devices these days use it. And here we are in the settings. The display is really vibrant. You can see there's a color mode. You can choose natural, soft, vivid, and LeEco's preset, which is kind of like natural. I prefer the natural mode. In scale view, you can basically choose on the settings and the options the font size a little bit higher or lower. You can see you can zoom in a little bit, so if you're not very good with your eyesight, you can zoom in, which is really nice. Nice option. Not a lot of displays have that, not a lot of vendors provided. You can see you can have your notification lights, which you can change in the settings. And here is the wallpaper and theme sections. Just basically online is just 9 themes for now. There won't be many more, I think. You can download them. It's really fast and simple. They provide quite decent amount of variety. They're all free. And of course you can download an additional launcher and use that. The good thing here is that although this is an LeEco device, it doesn't come with the LeEco TV system that's built in with the other devices. So this is kind of nice because it was Chinese, and for me it was kind of a bloatware because I didn't want it, and you were stuck with it if you got a LeEco device. So this comes without that. It's really a more pure Android device, very close. While running EUI, it's running really good and has absolute, basically, I think just one or two bloatware apps in there where I uninstalled them, and that's really nice to have. Close to zero bloatware on a custom UI. Here we have, you can check the sound quality from the bottom speaker. And you can manage all your notifications from the notification shade as well. If you pull it down, you can click on settings, and it's the same. This is the control center again in the settings, the do not disturb menu, where you can choose whatever you want to have apps active with notifications or even calls. You can have dual apps, so you can use 2 accounts in one app. Basically, it's just limited now to a few Chinese apps. I don't know if they'll do it anymore. Here's the fingerprint sensor. You can use it to take pictures. In your camera, it's not multitask used as in Huawei devices and Honor to pull down notifications, shades and such. So it's you can use it to lock an app and open it just with the fingerprint scanner, or just unlock the device, or take a picture in the camera app. As you can see, this is international ROM, has lots of languages that are natively supported. 32 gigs of storage, which around 7 or 8 is used by the OS, and then you have around 16-17 free gigs where you can use lots of games. I've put on lots of games in there, and I still got 3 or 4 gigs free, so that's nice. As you can see, device is running 6.01 Android Marshmallow, which is the latest official version. VUI genuine 6.01 Marshmallow, of course. 32 gigs of storage is not a lot, but it's certainly more than lots of other devices at that 199 price point. Now this Super Manager here is really nice. It's one of the apps in there. It's notification, power savior, junk cleaner, and startup manager and security all in one. You can basically choose which apps to auto start, so you can have your phone boot faster if you don't want all the games and social apps to start with your device. You can see UI scrolling is really nice. It's a very fluid system, works really great. Now, like, we have updated it a lot, and here's a few benchmarks. Now I'm starting 32 gigs, 3 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon 652 Octa-Core Qualcomm chip, which is really fast. This is faster than the Sony Xperia X, which costs a lot more, faster than the Redmi Note 3 Pro, which has a 650 version, which is a hexa-core. That's 6 cores. Here you have 8 cores. And it's the camera apps, and I'll get to the camera a bit later. See you there. And now I'll leave you with a few benchmark apps, and of course the speed test later on. See you in a bit.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
censorship approaching. Today we're going to be discussing how YouTube's new policies on ad revenue monetization are going to possibly affect our show and YouTube in the long run.
Lands on Earth, an alien species on the planet Tau Volantis discovers the marker on their planet.
welcome back to my favorite part, as I always love to review the camera. Here you can see I started up with the front cam and it tells me how old I am. And you can increase, decrease the view level, which is very popular these days. What you can actually do here is you can really see the difference I'm showing you. See, it makes me more attractive even when I make a scary face. Diligent, that's nice. And here is a photo and the video mode. Now let's go to the main cam where all the stuff's set. You get your basic filters which you can apply, pre-shot. Now is all the settings, it's slow motion. And here we are, we have the picture resolution at 4.3 and at 16.9. Refined, best quality. You can get location, face recognitions, and here's the settings on the front cam. You get an 8 megapixel 4x3 or 6 megapixel 16x9 wide angle. Video quality is 1080p. Change the camera again. And here you have the video quality, which this phone can record 4K video, and it's quite nice. The chip gets a little bit hot, but doesn't shut down like the Sony phones. So again, this is a really nice feature to get. 4K recording. You get long exposure for those low light shots if you want. Here you are, 4K 1080p 720. And again, 1080p 720p 480p for the front cam. And here we are now in the photo mode. This is night mode, where you need basically tripod or really steady hands to get a good night shot, continuous. And now here's I'll demonstrate the prime tool, where this is the only time when the camera, the app uses both cameras, is in the SLR mode, which is an enhanced depth of field mode for those really nice macro shots. Yes, when you take a regular shot, it doesn't use both cameras. It doesn't have a monochrome sensor like in the P9. I was hoping that I was gonna get more light in the low light shots with dual cams. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So when you're shooting with just the regular mode, you use only one of the 13 megapixel cameras. It still produces really nice images, but I was hoping for a little bit more. They could do that with the software update, who knows. I'm just reviewing what I have in front of me. And what I have in front of me is a really great camera for macro shots, for SLR shots. I'll give you a few samples afterwards. As you can see, processing takes quite some time to get the photo in. Photos, once they're in, they look great. As you can see, lots of detail. Color is really accurate. Lighting is really good. Details are quite high, even when zoomed in a lot. Now take the SLR. As you can see, there's a few shots I've made with SLR. Sometimes the depth of field, the bokeh effect is a bit blurry on the background. It looks a bit unnatural. Sometimes looks great, as on this shot, for example. As you can see, great amounts of it. You can barely see the fine dust particles on my keyboard. And here is the regular photo mode. As you can see, it can't focus quite as near as the SLR mode, but pictures still look okay. The 30 megapixels, both 30 megapixel Samsung cameras are great, but just a little bit less detail when you use the photo modes in close-up shots. But if you use the if you use a regular shot, you don't want to get a macro shot, you can't use the SLR mode. That's it. You can just use the regular. Here I'll give you just how fast the camera is. That's where I found out this is a Samsung sensor, because only they're that fast, and they can take a fast photo and save it quite literally on the second, which is nice for those who like a quick snap and go shot. Now when you are walking around, you need quite a bit of steady hands, so you can't just start shooting. Because pictures get a bit blurry because this doesn't have great optical stabilization. But as you can see, shots when using just one camera still look really good. Focus is where it should be in the distance. Colors natural. This is a good camera phone. Those of you who are maybe expecting to go toe-to-toe with the P9 at $199, I will have to disappoint you, so sorry, it's not gonna do that. But the SLR mode is quite nice, and with a few software updates they could really get this camera going great. And you can see, I'll give you a few. Front camera is also really good. It's especially the 6 megapixel wider angle. Captures a lot of detail when the lighting conditions are good. You can see plenty of detail, not a problem. Pretty much a good front cam. This is a good camera package phone in general. Flash quality is again really nice. You see in the samples I've given you. Here the same filters are present in the front cam as in the back cam. You can use actively. Here I'll show you a few samples that I've taken outside. This is with direct sunlight ahead of me. Really nice shots. Here is again direct sunlight. This is a really tough shot to take, not to overblow the lightning and the exposure. As you can see, plenty of detail. So on a good sunny day, this is as good camera as any flagship device you're gonna get. As you can see, a few indoor shots with my girlfriend. Shots look quite nice, but the night shots start to get blurry. Camera loses its speed and becomes a bit sluggish, and the shots do not look that well. I was hoping for better night shots as with the P9, but that's not the case. So this doesn't beat the P9 at $199, but it's a very good camera phone for $199 and a very good phone in general. Almost no compromises made anywhere. Camera, speed, and storage. As you can see, front cam is really good. You can also make a GIF, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can also use the After Effects in the editing. You can make it black and white, vintage filters, of course, crop the aspect ratio of the photo. So this is a camera-centric device, and of course quite fast. This Snapdragon 652 can handle any game, any task, multitasks really well. So this is a good device at that price. It's very hard to beat. Remains to be seen how they'll do with the software updates later on. Now here's the example of the GIF, and I'll be back for my final thoughts, and here are some pictures and video samples for you to watch and enjoy. Okay, I'm testing the front cam of the LeEco cool1's child, the LeEco cool1. So far, I just got the device this morning, run a few tests. Here I am going to work. You can see another very wide angle cam. Front cam, but not bad. It's a lot of noise in here, so you can check the noise cancellation if it works. So keep it smartphone. time has come for the final thoughts. What are the pros? Full flagship package at $199, SLR camera, 4K recording, IR blaster, even a headphone jack. Great sunlight visibility, but UI splitted smooth adjustment, no SD card slot, no OTA, and dual comes only used in SLR mode. Turn the value down a bit, but there's still so much value to be had from this phone for $199. For me, this simply right now is the best bang for the buck. You get a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, get dual cams for $199, just great. Not up to par with P9 and Huawei, but great. I hope you enjoyed the review as I enjoyed making it. Thank you for subscribing, and if you want more,
Stick around.